cash on my cash stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, get money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run.
Good evening, everyone. I am dealing with a new... Sorry, we're dealing with Restream changed everything, so I'm still getting used to it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. It's Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Things are happening fast. Everything is moving. Everything is shaking. Luckily, we have Mims here to make it make sense. What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
Lace up, let's get wealthy. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all running with the runners. Man, we got a phenomenal show for y'all tonight. Special guests, exciting news going on in the market. I'm telling you, we are so blessed. We are ahead of the curve right now, properly positioned, to help people really secure the bag, okay? Fired up about tonight's guest. The information that we're getting ready to share with you is just phenomenal to be this early. To be able to take advantage of these opportunities. But Mike, I'm pumped up. I'm excited. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. When you told me we had Echo on, I was pumped. If you guys don't know who he is, you're going to love him. He very similar, like-minded like us. And that's why I love the internet, because we're able to find so many like people and really just kind of combine our forces to help, as many people as possible. So I just want to share with you guys, if you have not heard of Echo, you need to make sure you follow him. He's got about 35,000 followers on TikTok. So that's at Echo X the Truth. And on X, or formerly known as Twitter, he's got about 50,000 followers, again, at Echo the Truth DA. So this brother, constantly is dropping mad knowledge. I think he might make more videos than Mims. It's going to be close, but we're excited to have him here. Bring him on the show. Echo the Truth. What's going down, man?
Yo, what's up, Mike? How you doing, Mims? Thank y'all very much for having me on.
Hey, man, anytime. Super excited to have you on. You are an XRP legend, and Mims told me you're in an upcoming documentary on XRP. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. So the documentary, or it's going to be a docu-series called XRP Unleashed. They actually have starting showings in theaters all across the U.S. A lot of them have been sold out. But if you go to Fruition Productions on the X account, you can actually find out more information. But I believe it's like November 20 something, where you can actually be streaming it from the comfort of your home. If not, there are locations, I believe there's 7 locations, if not more, but that are going to be shown in theaters as well for the premiere. I will be at the Atlanta, Georgia location on November 14th. So if anybody's going to be there, definitely going to be able to meet me. There's going to be a Q&A session afterwards as well. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting documentary. It actually talks about the XRP, I would say not you could talk about it being kind of like a documentary about the community, but more so just uncovering the truth about the global monetary system and how, these unelected bureaucrats have just hindered technology and, the financial system. Right. But you're getting it from all walks of life. You're hearing it not just from myself. You're going to hear from like Coach JB. You're going to hear from, attorneys. John Deaton, the soon-to-be senator of Massachusetts, is in the documentary as well. So, shout out to Chris and Maya from Fruition Productions. They're the one who actually took on this project, and they took a real big gamble on it because they used their own funds for it. And from my understanding, they're on track to actually be ahead, be in good terms with this documentary. And I just thought it was just kind of coincidental that XRP unleashes the title, and all of a sudden everything is just starting to happen right now, starting to blossom right now.
So I actually have the trailer pulled up here. We're gonna watch it here in a minute, but I just kind of want to get your backstory. Like, when did you get into content creation online, or kind of, start understanding this monetary change, or get into XRP and silver? Like, what was that? What was that like for you, and how did you kind of blow up and become, such a huge influencer?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would definitely have to say, I mean, I got into, well, I've always been into finances. So I have a background as a mortgage banker for, 10 plus years at several different credit unions and banks, right? So I already understood like how the banking concept worked. And I was like, whenever I was always approving people for new homes and whatnot, a lot of times people didn't know some of the basics like, debt to income ratio or how to establish credit, right? So
Right.
I quickly learned how to being able to break down information in a more simple term, right? Even though you can explain to somebody something so complex, a lot of people aren't on that level to be able to understand what's going on. So I had to learn how to break that down in a way that to help people understand like how to structure their finances in order to even get a home. Right. So when I understood that portion, it easily helped me gain. It easily helped me understand that on the social media side, there wasn't that end, right? There wasn't a lot of people talking about the monetary system on that end. But what really got me into like the social media content side of it was whenever I got into cryptocurrencies, right? Digital assets back in the last bull run of 2020. And a lot of us, a lot of us either made money or we fell victim to it, or just learned in the process. And for me, I stayed in it even though I've had a lot of burn parts, right? I got burnt a lot
Oh, of course.
playing around in the game, but I took those as lessons and I just improved them on it. I never stopped learning, right? When I started learning about just not like Bitcoin, but blockchain and how it worked and how powerful it was and how it could actually help, revolutionize our whole entire financial system, you couple that along with precious metals like gold and silver, that right there becomes oops
That's it.
that
Oh,
right
so is crypto, baby.
there right but that right there became like the powerhouse, right? And I already had like a history in gold because my family, that's the reason why they came over from the States, because they, my family was from Vietnam, right? This was before I was born. But
Okay.
my grandmother, she would save, she would have her dollars, right? There was the Vietnamese dong at the time, and she would take her Vietnamese dong and trade them in for gold. Luckily, she did it in enough time, right? Because whenever the currency collapsed during the Vietnam War, she had just enough gold. Actually, she didn't have enough gold, right? She had just enough gold to get all of the family members out except for the eldest daughter, right? My oldest
Oh,
aunt.
wow.
So she had to stay back behind. But I learned that about my family history. So, that already has sentimental, understandings to
Mm.
me and my family, right? The gold portion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
I
love
didn't.
that.
Mhm.
Dave, I'm sorry, Robert Kiyosaki talks about that because when he was serving in the Vietnam War, that's where he bought his first gold coin, was in Vietnam. And then he talks about that story about how, the people that weren't smart enough to save in real money to get real assets back then, when the dong crashed, they were basically done. So that's amazing that, you were able to use that history of your family escaping Vietnam, and you at least were like, hey, if they escape Vietnam by doing this, we're probably going to need to escape America by doing this in the future here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good coincidental story that all of that, and I hopefully we won't have to escape America. That's where I hope that like, what by all my studies, along with everything that's coming out with the U.S. debt clock and blockchain technology and my understanding of it, I would hope that it would completely use a really strong hope, right? Really thin hope. But I really hope that, if we have that 1% chance to actually being able to, switch this whole entire monetary system where there's not a catastrophic collapse, I would hope that that would be it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm super positive about it. So let's watch this short intro video on the documentary that Echo will be in, and then I want to hear from Mims and Echo, why they are so big on the XRP, and then we're going to go into some some new technology on XRP Ledger where, you know, new meme coins are being created. They're going up 50,000, 100,000% in a day. So we're going to get into that with Echo as well. So here is the
So I think you'll dig this as something that we made in the office on ETHgate. Gave a speech and they cashed it. And everybody recognizes that gentleman right there, Bill Hinman.
Bill Hinman came to the stand in 2018 and gave his famous speech where he declared that Ethereum wasn't a security. The SEC tried to allege that all sales of XRP were an unregistered securities offering.
December 21st, Brad Garlinghouse came out and basically informed the world that they were soon going to be sued by the SEC.
SEC is preparing to sue that crypto startup for selling unlicensed securities.
Can you explain your view of whether Ethereum is a security or not, but then why you believe that Ripple is a security?
We don't get involved in these types of public forums talking about any one project.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
The SEC is trying to capture the digital asset space. They went after Ripple and specifically XRP is because it was the biggest threat to the incumbent banking and financial system.
You know, the United States government's probably the biggest bully in the world. I read the complaint and it was terrible news. People are going to lose money and people had their life savings in XRP. All right, welcome to Regulatory Capture 101, also known as ETHgate.
So that is going to break it down for sure. So Mims, we got to hear a little bit from you before we hear from Echo. I know you guys are both big on XRP. So, you know, what is your belief? Why are you putting, you know, your value into the future of this digital asset?
Yeah, Mike. I mean, you already know, we tell people all the time, you know, I tell people all the time that, you know, XRP is the most undervalued digital asset on the planet, you know, in my opinion. And people who have been, you know, studying and following and doing the due diligence realize just how valuable this is to the global economy, you know, and this is what we're talking about when we're looking at this reset and we're looking at the options, the solutions, the different ways that the global economy can function post, you know, this debt-based fiat model operating with the weaponized SWIFT system and everything else, knowing that everything is moving to blockchain, knowing everything is going to be tokenized. And when you look out into the space, it's clear as day that Ripple and, you know, XRP are critical to the whole global financial system. And that's why I get excited when I can, you know, follow serious, informed content creators and leaders in the space like Echo, who has helped me understand the magnitude of XRP and Ripple and where they're going. And I just get more excited every day because more and more information is coming out. And just like Echo said, you know, with the documentary that's coming out, it's the timing is like it's unleashed. There's so much information, so much is happening on the XRPL, so much developments and layers to this thing. It's just really an exciting time. So I'm pumped and the community is pumped. And I mean, we're just getting started, folks. We're in the largest wealth transfer in history. So buckle up, you know, XRP to the moon.
I love it. So Echo, why XRP? You know, what first drew it to you? Because I'll be honest with you guys, XRP was the first crypto I ever bought in 2017 because I was like, wait, they're gonna take over the banking system. Sign me up. So then we'll get into drop. But Echo, why XRP? If someone's out there and they've never bought crypto or they've just dabbled, why do you think they should maybe think about considering XRP?
No, so XRP is, you know, everybody overlooked the technology portion of it, right? And even myself included when I first got in, right? XRP, the ledger itself, is an open source protocol that anybody can build up on. A lot of people, focus on Ripple, which I'm not gonna lie to you, Ripple is doing amazing things when it comes to revolutionizing the banking infrastructure on an enterprise and institutional level. But one thing that makes XRP so great is, the transactional, or many things that make the XRP ledger so great is that, transactional speeds, security, interoperability, right? Just everything, just the all well-rounded ledger itself, right? To actually being able to transact funds and do it on a secured way, but at the same time as being able to develop on it. So let's just say if you're a developer and you want to develop an application, you can do it on that open source protocol, and there's nothing hindering from you, right? Where versus there are other blockchains that are more centralized, or they won't be able to do what XRP is doing, right? They tried to test it out with Bitcoin before. I'm not saying like Bitcoin. I know that there's people that call like Bitcoin like the beta test coin, right? And some people can argue that. Some people can sit there and say it can be that. But for me, Bitcoin, when it first came out, there were some flaws with it, right? There are flaws currently with it, and to me, the XRP ledger can do everything that Bitcoin can do, but more, right? And with XRP, you can always go forward with it. So let's just say if you want to have a new update for the XRP ledger, you just have to have the validators, or what they call the unique node validators, for them to vote on it to give consensus to actually approve those changes on the ledger, right? There's a whole entire protocol that goes into all of that right there. But on Bitcoin, you can't do that, right? You can't just update Bitcoin. You can fork Bitcoin and try to update it from that point on. This is where we have like Bitcoin Cash and all that, right? But for the most part, there were developers that developed that were the former developers from the Bitcoin network that came over and created what we know now as the XRP ledger, right? So for me, it's kind of like, okay, well, if they realize that there was issues with the Bitcoin network and they built something even more better, then why not take a look over there? Whenever I started using like the Ethereum ecosystem way back in 2020, I noticed that right off the rip that was not going to be the future of finance. Even though they had like decentralized finance on their protocol, it just wasn't going to meet what needed for either A, institutional level, or B, like you said, Mike, where they're taking over the whole entire global monetary system. So when I learned about XRP itself, I just fell in love with it, and I just got indulged with it. I just never stopped from that point on. And yeah.
And so there's two big developments that we want to talk about tonight on XRP. Okay. And Mims told me this the other day. 30 million MetaMask users can now access the XRP ledger. And this just happened this week. Okay. Blockchain firm Purist Technologies has launched an XRP ledger, Snap, which will allow over 30 million MetaMask users access to the blockchain. The software firm announced on Monday that MetaMask users can now access the XRPL network and harness its properties through the self-custody wallet. Purist noted that the latest edition offers users the same functionality available on the XRPL mainnet and testnet. And to be honest with you, this is what was stopping me from really getting into a lot of the XRP DeFi stuff, because normally you'd have to use like your phone or the Zoom wallet, and I'm just used to doing stuff on my computer with MetaMask or Rabby. So Echo, I mean, how big do you think this is to bring in a ton of more users into the XRPL?
Absolutely massive. as soon as because MetaMask was my very first crypto wallet, right? So that's why I'm like, oh my goodness. As soon as I read that, my jaw dropped, right? And to be honest with you, as soon as that happened, I quickly ran over to my computer and I logged in to make sure that that you can do it, and you can. So
and it was super easy. It's super easy too. That's what I was impressed by. Like, you just, when you go to we'll go to First Ledger here, you go to First Ledger, You click something, it pops up. You click something, you're in there in like 10 seconds, super easy.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like that EV, what they called Ethereum virtual machine, the EVM compatibility is just like right there.
Yeah.
So, you're onboarding 30 million users, active users from the MetaMask, or Ethereum ecosystem. Not MetaMask or Ethereum, but the MetaMask ecosystem, because MetaMask surrounds around all
almost
these
everything,
blockchains.
any EVM chain.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Mims, any thoughts on, the future of XRP? How big is this MetaMask thing? Because I think crypto's hard enough, but then it's like there's this other little subsection of crypto with XRP, and it's kind of like a whole different process to get people onboarded.
Yeah, it really just comes down to folks, being early, being one of the first that really is going to allow you to benefit from this space. And when you can get ahead of the curve, and when you understand where the momentum is, where the activity is, where the excitement is, and you can get there before everybody else, that's where, you're going to see a lot of the value and a lot of the growth. And so, what XRP has been fudded for years because of what's been going on with the SEC. And understand that right now everything is being unleashed. Okay, EVM compatibility. We're talking about more users. We're talking about more liquidity. We're talking about more traction. We're talking about more growth. You're coming in at the right time. There's so many announcements. I mean, we're just going to cover two, but I mean, there's smart contracts. Obviously, there's DeFi. There's over 1,700 NDAs that are that they can't even come out with, so many partnerships. RLUSD, I think I saw $1 trillion was minted. I don't know if that was a legitimate post or not, but I mean, they have hundreds of millions, billions of dollars being printed in RLUSD, the real stable coin. I mean, there's so many things that are going on right now in this ecosystem. And now for them to have the, 30 million, from the MetaMask being able to come over and that interoperability and all the value that Echo just talked about earlier, it's a no-brainer.
All right, so we're going to get into the real reason you guys are here, and it's because you want to make stupid, life-changing money. So now we're going to talk about the big evolution here on the XRPL, which is First Ledger, and there's another platform. What's the other one called?
You talking Magnetic?
The one you told me about, Mims. The other place where you can buy the coins.
Mag.
Okay, I'll bring that up in a second here. So this is First Ledger, the fastest way to trade assets on the XRP ledger. You just need a Telegram account to get started. I already made a video on how to do this. I'm sure Echo has tons of as well. So Echo, since you are the expert here, how big is First Ledger and what gets you the most excited? And then we'll get into drop.
I mean, it got me super excited. It got me so excited to the point that it got me indulged and changing up pretty much my whole entire content the past few days, right? Because as much as some people may hate meme coins, right? Because they have a bad reputation in the case. At the end of the day, meme coins are developed, or communities are developed right out of it. And for me, I feel like that right there is, with the meme coin rally that's coming in on the XRP ledger, is creating all of these new communities right now. Okay, it's organically doing it too. Now, sure, they're going to be pump and dump. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's with every other meme coin, on any other blockchain it is, right? But what is revolutionizing this about it is that First Ledger was able to take a platform and integrate it on Telegram. And I'm not sure the amount of users that are on Telegram, but I know it's a lot, right? Because pretty much everybody that has a cell phone pretty much has Telegram. And if that's the case, everyone can legitimately trade these crypto XRP meme coins right at their fingertips. As long as they have XRP, they can do it right there in Telegram. So I felt like that they was super revolutionary, to be able to create something like that.
And so what I'm showing you guys here is this is, and again, like we said, these might be not last long. They might, be rug pulls. But right now, I mean, you can see this K cup. I saw this last night. Has gone up 67,000% in the last 24 hours. This one's gone up 20,000%. This one's gone up 4,000. Now, the one that we want to focus on is called Drop, and there's a couple of them, so you want to make sure you get the real one. It's the oldest one that was made, which is literally 5 days ago.
So it would be the very first one.
The very first one.
Yes. So look at the contract address, but also look at the price, because all of them, those aren't the right prices at the bottom right there. It's around 1 XRP, right? Since we started the show, it gone up, right? It just moonshot it. But it's gone up.
And just so, sorry, Echo, just so everyone understands, this was created 6 days ago. Okay.
Talk about being early.
Yeah. I had a busy weekend, but I saw Echo talking about this and another XRP guy. And I texted Mims on Friday. I'm like, yo, I don't got time to look into this, but it's about to pop off. So, I mean, this thing is up 100, or is that a million? 1,000,000% this week. So let me pull up a couple things here, and I'll let you kind of explain why you're big in a drop. It's gone up 33% in the last hour. I don't know if that's because of Echo coming on the show or not. But I have right here, he's talking about the Drop Army. There's us live right now with over 1,000 or about 1,000 viewers on Echo's X. We got the Drop Army.
The screen froze. Are you showing another screen?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I think this will work now.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. All right. So we got Echoes live here with over 1,000 people watching. Thank you guys again. If you guys, appreciate, the truth that Echo brings, make sure you guys like this, share it out, send it to some more people to get the Drop, the XRP Army up and going. So Echo, I got Drop. I'll pull up their X here. But, what do you think is different about this community, and why do you like it, and are you covering it so much?
Yeah, so the real reason why I got into community is because the community is awesome. I mean, there are a lot of great people inside of the community. By the way, if you're not in the Telegram, okay, go ahead and go to the X page on Drops and go to the Telegram, right? And you'll see there's a lot being developed in the background, and it's a completely community-driven project. So there's this gentleman by the name of Alex Cobbs, who is who is a legend in the space. A complete legend. He was the one who started this project, and whenever he started this project, he created it only with 1 million coins, right? And only with 1 million coins in mind. And so because there's only 1 million drops at each XRP, right? Well, whenever he created it, he actually burnt his whole entire supply. So he doesn't own any drops itself. So whatever drops are out there, what's out there, right? And a lot of it's actually in the liquidity pools, right? So with that being said, everything from here is just all community driven. Whoever, let's just say, for example, this meme that you have right there, that's somebody in the community who actually created that, right? All of these memes, all of these images were somebody in the community created it, right? We're all volunteering our time. So it's like a completely organic community, which in my opinion, organic is the way to go, right? Okay, because that's completely natural. Then, it's not somebody trying to push you to do something. No, the thing is completely natural and it's going to grow. What got me so bullish on it, right, was not just because of the community itself, and I saw how passionate but innovative it was, but when I think about meme coins, right, and the community is driven around it, there has to be some type of value or some type of possible value to it. And I was like, man, Drops is not only a really cool name, right? It has a really good message behind it, but it is a really good mascot. Right. And Alex highlight this, right? It's a really good mascot. And I'm like, okay, so you can already possibility in the future if this thing becomes in my opinion, a future blue chip project on the XRP ledger, then it can have a sense of business model, right? When it comes to merch and stuff like that, because it's an it looked good, but then also there's not a. I was also thinking too, like, what are other meme coins doing in the space? I was like, with drops, it's creating music. It has its own album on SoundCloud.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I'm over here thinking like, this thing is like very so innovative on that end. I was like, there's so much opportunity on that side. And so I understand that, with meme coins, like when it came to, like, for example, Brett on base, right? Anybody's ever heard of that, they've heard about how fast, people became overnight millionaires legitimately, because that thing ran from, $10,000 market cap or $100,000 market cap all the way up to $1 billion market cap in like a month. And that was the very first meme coin on Base, which is Coinbase's blockchain, right? So so with that being said, there's always a icon or a mascot that I see that's representing these blockchains, right? Like, there's Doge, you have Shiba and all that stuff, right? So XRP is bound to have one. It's just, which one is it going to be? Now, I'm not saying that Drops is going to be the only one, because in my opinion, there's a lot of amazing, great meme coins that have, and great communities that are out there, right? That have the potential to be, there could be multiple blue chips on the XRP ledger. The only reason why I'm really supportive about Drops itself is because, like, of the message behind it and the character too, right? It's just like, it just looks like come on, who doesn't like this thing? Is adorable. So it's just, that's one of the many reasons why it's like, there's so much potential behind it. And also I'll think about the money, right? Like, not money, but like the value proposition of it. Because if Base, right, if Brett from Base is valued at a $1 billion market cap at its current price right now, right? If you did that with Drop, with 1 million drops, it would make Drops be valued at 1,000 XRP for each drop.
All right, say less. All right, so guys, I'm in my Telegram first ledger bot. I got to buy some more. I already bought some last night, but I literally just went to the first ledger, copied the address, okay, pasted it here. Everything comes up. Again, it starts with RS Zen. I like how it has Zen in the issuer's name, okay? And I have this set up. I'm just going to click on buy 200 XRP. And then I'm going to confirm that. And I love how quick this works, and especially how simple it is with the Telegram. I actually think that's simpler for people. They just can't mess up as much, and it kind of lets you know what your position is a lot of the times. So there we go. I just bought another 166 drop. As I'm hearing Echo talk about it, I just had to, get some more before you guys all on the stream boost the price up anymore. So Mims, Echo's got me excited here for Drop. You've maybe done some things on the ledger or any tokens you're into, or, how huge is this? Like, like Echo said, we got into Brett early, at the time. Obviously, I wish I would have bought more, but who would have thought that Brett would have went over $1 billion? But It's like every ecosystem almost needs a meme, whether it's just entertainment, fun, community. This is really what crypto is all about.
Yeah. And one thing about that first ledger is so simple. Like, if you went back to it and you click on, total value locked, and you'll see the top coins that have the top value locked. So if you want to have an idea of what are some other major coins that are moving, but it's just like Echo said, every major blockchain has like their top meme coin. Okay. And XRP doesn't have one yet. And Drops, it has the perfect narrative, has the perfect community, is there to be in position to be one of the top, if not the top meme coins on the XRPL. It's the same thing where I look at on Kronos Network when we talked about Crow with Knife. which also is making some movements here a little bit lately as well. We're going into a meme season, and I think that what we're seeing here is the meme season is going to happen on the XRPL. Obviously, like we talked about, the MetaMask integration, and XRP get all this visibility. And we have, Brad Garlinghouse meeting with the Federal Reserve this week. We have Swift meeting. We have obviously BRICS, and they're talking about so we know that the value is here on XRPL, and to be in the meme space early as we are right now, I don't see how people don't make money and really benefit from all the activity and volume that's going to move to this chain so early on. So I'm excited, for everybody that's in position.
Bro, this thing has already hit basically $2, and it's only at $1.21 right now. The market cap is 638. So we haven't even hit $1 million market cap, and we got Echo with 80,000 followers talking about it and getting excited about it. So, Echo, anything else you want to add when it comes to drop?
Yeah, I wanted to add this is that's 1.2 XRP. So it's not $1.20.
Oh, you're right. It's 63 cents. Correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's much cheaper.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Echo, where do you see this? Where do you see this going? Where we maybe you can get a little just from your insight where this might could go. I mean, obviously we compared it to Brett. So are we looking at that in your analysis maybe?
So yeah, great question. So short term wise, I know that the team is focused on a $10 million market cap, right? We already hit the $1 million market cap, a few days ago, and now we're just in that that consolidation phase. But as you can see, we broke. You saw that amazing chart. We just broke out of it. Yeah. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if we come back down and test it out. But for the most part, we're gonna test new levels. I ran a Fibonacci retracement, chart on it, and it said it's gonna at least the next leg up can go as high as 5 XRP right off the rip, right?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, like that's like the next leg up. Okay. Now, will that happen? It remains to be seen. But I believe that it has the potential, no matter what, to reach. If the community is behind it, if people can see the potential and the reasoning why, then in my opinion they will. Then this thing could reach astronomical numbers. Like it will. Overnight millionaire definitely can happen. Again, just like Brett from base. But
yeah, I still remember the dude who turned me on to Brett. I wish I would have listened to him more. He put 15 grand into Brett at the beginning, like within the first week. And I think his wallet got to over $3 million. And I still don't know if he sold. But I mean, guys, it's crazy. I'm not a huge meme guy typically, but if you are going to do memes, get in early, right? If you can get into something like this with less than $1 million market cap, when you have Echo and other big XRP army, and again, most XRP people don't even know what DeFi is, right? They've just been getting XRP. So once this gets to the masses of the XRP army, I think it could be huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is that you would think that a lot of people from like the XRP community would be into it, right? But this is where the degens come in, because a lot of people in the XRP communities aren't really degens, right? They're buyers and hodlers. So, I'm trying to encourage my people within my community to just be open-minded, right? And I kind of came out of the blue, right? Because nobody knew that I'm actually a degen inside, right? I mean, everybody likes to have a little bit of fun. So I literally just came out of the woodworks and was like, oh my goodness. You want to know what? Talking about this meme coin and whatnot. And a lot of people got turned off by it. But if people, actually, sat back and actually understood like what the real purpose of reasoning why I'm doing what I'm doing, then they'll see the potential, right? Then they'll see like the potential that's behind it. And it's massive. I mean, it can be life-changing wealth with just a little bit amount of funds, right? But at the end of the day, too, it's all fun and games, too. for example, like today, I spend a lot of my day today working on talking with a lot of what we call the crypto bros over on TikTok, the influencers, right? The ones that trade the meme coins, the one that had deep pockets. I've already had meetings with them, and we're going to set up, something massive to be coming over to the XRP ledger, like bringing all of those, the degens over, right? Because, hey, I've already given the XRP community the opportunity to get into this, or the people that follow me. If they haven't, then I'm sorry, but not sorry. But we have to, I know where my place is in this whole entire community, and there was a reason why I stayed friends with these certain individuals that a lot of people don't like from other ecosystems. But this is where you're going to bring a community together, because you have other people that a lot of people don't really realize, right? That don't even recognize, that are on the other side, that are your young, degen that just sit there and just like to trade meme coins all day, right? But people want the price of XRP to go up, but they're waiting for Ripple to flip that switch. But in real reality, it's not Ripple. It could be the community. And so we're trying to figure out who's going to flip the switch first, Ripple or the community.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's move on a little bit and get into another thing we all agree on. And Echo, you posted this the other day when silver hit over $35 an ounce. We might see $36 tomorrow at this rate. Know what you hold. And that's kind of one of your famous sayings, right? Is know what you hold. Why are you so bullish on silver? As I know Mims is, but I want to hear from you guys, because we obviously have a lot of people into crypto, a lot of people into XRP. But again, guys, this is not an either or argument, right? One or the other. It's both. I think you need both. You need physical assets and you need digital assets. So Echo, why are you so big on bringing, the best prices for gold and silver to your community?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, multiple reasons, right? I mean, we already heard about the story. You already heard about my story about, gold earlier, but the silver portion is a big one, because I didn't understand the concept of silver. And I'm not going to lie to you. Now it was Mims with the combination of the US debt clock giving me the greater understanding of what silver really was. And it made me like really, truly like do my research, right? When I found out that silver is legitimately the most suppressed asset in the world, and when I mean legitimately, I mean, over 200 years, right? Even more than gold, it just blew my mind, right? When I started learning about the Coinage Act, the debasing, right? It blew my mind on how much they don't teach you. And when I learned about it, I became super bullish on it. You couple that along with understanding how the derivative market works and how short positions are put in, who holds those short positions.
The big
man.
You see how much short positions can be leveraged.
Right.
Then you're like, oh my goodness, the world is legitimately built up on debt, but debt that is gamble debt. And you're like, what's the solution? There's only one solution. It's written in the Bible.
Right. That's right.
And this is what, Mim says it all the time. We're going with God's money, right? That when I opened my eyes to that, that's why I was like, oh my goodness, I got to help my fellow community members get into gold and silver, get into precious metals. By the way, if you need precious metals, make sure you hit up @costmetals.com. Okay. Use the code ECHOX, but for the most part, you can get your metals at cost, right? With that being said, I wanted my community to get exposure to it, because, there's not a lot of people, when I was researching on how many people own silver in this world, right? It blew my mind. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like less than 1%, I think. That's crazy. Less than 1% of people own real money, and all of us have a way to help people get it at cost. Right? I just did a post today. We are less than $1 over spot. That is almost unheard of in this industry. Most places are doing $4 to $7 over the spot price, and we are able to get it for less than $1. So Mims, I know this is your wheelhouse, And, you know, the fact that, again, we're able to connect with people like Echo through the internet where, you know, he can kind of give us value with, you know, his knowledge on XRP, and where you're able to explain silver to people, you know, maybe just really explain and break down to Echo's community why they want to message him and get started with at cost metals.
Hey, it's just like he said, man, you know, Echo say, know what you hold. Okay, know what you hold. And we get excited.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. So the whole thing is like, look, we look for undervalued assets. And obviously we, you know, believe XRP, the most undervalued digital asset. You know, we're looking at silver, the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. And you have to understand something. We are living in a debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme. And that silver is the Achilles heel to the banking system. And right now, as silver's breaking out, Echo talked about the derivatives market and the naked short selling. And every day that silver goes up $1, there's $250 million worth of losses that are sitting on these major banks. A lot of people heard about Warren Buffett selling shares of Bank of America. They didn't know why. Well, now we know, and from what I understand, is because Bank of America and other banks have major short positions on silver. Okay. And right now, the silver squeeze is in full effect. Okay. So understand, we're dealing with the most undervalued asset on the planet. The demand for physical silver is greater than the supply. We have Russian central bank now adding silver to their strategic reserves, haven't done that in hundreds of years, over 100 years. We have the military demand buying up, that is increasing greater than the supply. We have solid state batteries by Samsung. We have the EV and solar panel demand, massive demand from governments and central banks around the world because the debt-based fiat Ponzi system is collapsing. Okay, central banks buying it all. So understand something. In 2025, the demand for silver is going to be greater than the supply. There's not enough of it. And we just talked about less than 1% of people own physical silver. This is the most undervalued asset on the planet. Robert Kiyosaki would tell you it's the greatest opportunity to create real wealth and build wealth. Silver is a massive buy right now. We talk about trillions of dollars they've printed since COVID, trillions. And we've seen inflation in everything. Even gold is at all-time high. I mean, we're seeing inflation in everything, but silver still, maybe 40% or whatever it is from its all-time high around there. And I mean, $50 is nothing, as for an all-time high of silver. Silver should be in the hundreds of dollars, and that's very modest. So, it's an exciting time to be in real money, God's money, constitutional money. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. Gold and silver is money all over the world, but silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet. And yes, people should be getting it, and especially get it from at cost because they have the best prices. And, we're excited, man, because we're in the largest wealth transfer in history, and we're perfectly positioned. We're properly diversified to make sure that a wealthy family comes from us, even if we didn't come from a wealthy family.
Absolute fire, guys. And before we leave, we want to make sure people understand why the price of silver, well, we're happy, it's gone up to $35. It should be way more. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to zoom in here on this paper to silver ratio now. It's kind of in the middle of your screen. 408.45 to 1. What that means is there's 408 fake paper ETF stock trading paper promises of silver to 1 real ounce of silver that they hold in the COMEX. I want you to think about that. There's 408 people who think they have this, but they don't. There's one of these for 408 people who think they own silver. And it's actually worse with this, with they do all these little tricks and gimmicks and spoofing, and they let them borrow it. So they have it, but then we borrowed it, so we have it too. So it's actually worse than this. But, last word tonight, Echo, I've seen you post about this. You post about the debt clock all the time. What do you want your community and people to know and understand coming from the debt clock and how important it is to hold physical assets?
I mean, it's extremely important. If I could, one thing I could stress out is diversify, right? Diversify, because I think a lot of people are just in it's just one asset, and that's what I'm trying to find out. That's what I'm finding out. And this is why I cover so many different topics, right? Whether it's gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, right? Or even real estate, right? I let people know, like, having a diversified portfolio gives you that nest egg, because if one asset doesn't go up or one asset does go down, right, you have something that to counterbalance it, right? But in my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion, and this is one reason why, my catchphrase is, know what you hold, because I feel like that we are in the greatest, time in human history where we are kicking off this everything bull run. I put this out on several times on my page that we're not going to have a crash, and people are like, no, we're going to have a crash and stuff. And I'm like, I don't believe that's the case, just because the simple fact that, because my idea was that, like, what if we tap into new liquidity? And people were like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if we're tapping into what we call real world assets, gold and silver, we digitize that, and we turn that digitization and we package it up into a treasury bill, a T-bill. We have what we have stable coins that buy those T-bills. You're basically, backing it up by a new treasury dollar or by a new dollar. And this is what I think that the U.S. debt clock has been telling us, that this was going to happen the whole entire time, right? And if that's the case, that means everything is going to get revalued. Everything is going to go up. It's going to be that, whether it's crashes, I have no idea, right? Like, when we go up and we reach a peak, are we going to crash? I have no idea. But what I do know is that if you're in tune, right, and you have a diversified portfolio, chances of it is that one of those items that you have, it's just going to go up and never stop. And I feel like silver is definitely going to be one of them, just based off of my statistics, like what I know. But XRP could be another one too when everything kicks off. So if anything, that's what I want. Yeah,
I love that, the smooth transition, because I've been saying that for a long time. Like, I don't think there's going to be this like crazy Armageddon zombie apocalypse, thing. I think it's actually going to, there'll probably be some violence and people will have to be taken out, but like, I really do think it's going to be like a new, almost utopia, a new revelation of how we should live as people together and have actual real money. Mims, I'll let you close us out tonight. Last words, and awesome stream, guys, tonight. Appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Make sure you guys like this, share it out to anyone who needs to know the truth about, digital assets, physical assets, how to get into, the new XRP ledger. It's been awesome having Echo on and getting to know his community. Mims, make it make sense to everyone.
Yeah. Look, fired up and excited. I told you guys at the beginning of the show that this was going to be a fire Runners Live show. We had a phenomenal special guest.
Yes, sir.
And the value that we drop is 100 all the time. Really, just, we're so ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? We're so early. We're so fortunate. We're so blessed, because a lot of people have no idea what's going on. A lot of people won't make it. A lot of people are going to get wiped out because they don't understand that the dollar is a liability. They don't understand that the Federal Reserve has already given us the gameplay. They told us that they're going to continue to cut rates well into 2025. That means that they're going to devalue the dollar. So the dollar is going to continue to lose purchasing power. And the poor and the middle class are the ones who are going to suffer. But there's an option for people to be able to preserve their wealth and have it grow for them during this reset. And it's by acquiring these undervalued physical and digital assets right now. But that window is closing, because that flick the switch moment is happening. We're seeing it in silver breaking out, and it's going to keep doing major moves, and gold all-time high. And we're seeing XRP unleash in the meme season and everything else that's taking place right now. So we ringing the alarm, and we're telling people, come on, it's for everybody. Before, the opportunity to get wealthy and to make money had to be an accredited investor. You had to know somebody or something. Man, look, this is wide open. Anybody can join that Cost Metals and start getting some silver. Anybody can just create a wallet and now, take advantage of these digital assets that are massively undervalued. There are no barriers. There are no barriers.
Yep.
This is your opportunity. This is your time. So I'm fired up and excited because I know the future is bright. You know, and I agree with you, Mike. There might be some chaos, you know, and there will be some, you know, some things that'll take place during this shift. All right. But there are some people that are going to benefit tremendously from this shift, and they're going to be an asset to humanity. And they're going to be able to do great things for people because they were in tune and they have the resources and now they have the money. We want our communities to be part of that. We want to be part of the solution. We want to be the part that actually builds a better, greater society and humanity. You know, and that comes down to us being wealthy. But if you don't hop on the train, if you don't acquire these assets, if you don't, you know, diversify and put yourself in position, you're going to be stuck with the government's UBI, CBDC, whatever slavery 2.0 system they have for you, okay? And we don't want that for you. So we're fired up and excited. We're living in the largest wealth transfer in history right now. The time that we're in right now, they're going to be talking about this for centuries. They're going to be studying this time period we're alive in right now for centuries. They're going to be debating the time period that we are alive and awake right now for centuries. Understand the moment that you're living in and know what you hold. Shout out to Echo, man. Appreciate you, brother. Fire live stream tonight. Get back to the person that shared this out with you. Get in position. Lace up. Let's get wealthy. Be safe. Be blessed. We catch you guys on the next on the live show. We out.
All right. Peace, guys. Thank you again, Echo.